Hey, this is Bruce with Coolum Enterprises. This short video is a how-to for Jake Peterson to let him know how to take off his Fluxban so he can do a repair to the LEDs. Okay, so first I want Jake to know that this is not a done set of Fluxbans. We are still working on this car, so this is to give you the idea how to. First, Jake, you have to go down underneath the car to the bottom of the flux bands where they meet the flux boxes, and you'll find a red and black wire and the LED wire that are connected together. Pull them out from the flux box and then just remove the wires by taking off the wire nuts. Pull the LEDs away from this wire, and that's it to disconnect down here. Like I said, these aren't finished. That's why they're not in the box yet. This is just a how-to. And this LED runs along the side like this. Okay, so the next thing is how to remove the flux band. Okay, Bruce here with the second part of how to remove the flux bands. Okay, first, you're going to need two people to remove the flux bands to help you remove the flux bands, because you have to separate the rubber mounts, and they are rubber, so they have to separate. You can pull them apart, so it's going to take two people to get this off. Okay, first we have a screw that is embedded into the car here and here. Take those two screws out. They're just coarse wood screws that screw into the stainless steel and the fiberglass. So take the two screws out. Those are the only thing holding the flux bands to the car, those two screws. Next, you get somebody to help you. He's going to help you by separating the bands while you work. One person works on the top. So point that up here, Mary. So we got to separate these, and while you're separating them, okay, let's see, pull this one. Okay, what Rob's doing there, that makes it easier. Get that one. This one's going to stay on here. See, because it's not screwed down, it just compress fit to the flux bands. So now do this, and then easy, gently, you might have to work out. It might be tight, and this one is. Okay, got it. So pull it out, Rob. Okay, now when you got it completely out, there will be on yours, flip it over, there will be a rope light like this. Let me take this off, take that off. There'll be a rope light that runs down the side of the bands like this. So, and it's held down with clips. So this is where it runs up like this. It is bent over like this, and we think the brake is around where the first rubber band is, right here. So you got to get the flux band out, then get to this. Don't remove this completely, but take it and unfold it so you have the excess out. And now we're going to go ahead and cut the video, and I'm going to show you how to fix the LED string. Hey, this is Bruce again with part 3 of how to fix your Fluxban LEDs. Okay, I'm here on the bench. This is the string of LEDs. What you need to notice first of all, or need to know about the LEDs, is that when you look at it, there's copper strips. See those copper tabs? There. There's 3 LEDs in between each copper. That means that if I wanted to shorten this, I could take a pair of scissors and I could count every 3 LEDs and cut that copper right at the copper. Okay, so I could cut it there, or I could go 6, I could cut it here. But wherever you're going to cut, you have to do it in sections of 3 LEDs. So for this display, I don't need to cut any, but what I need to show you is that those solder point, those copper points are solder points. You have to get into those by taking a small screwdriver, tech screwdriver. Gently, this is a silicone coating right here on the top, and the back is the sticky back. And then there's a tracer that's underneath here. So you got to take the silicone and get your screwdriver to separate the silicone from the tracer. See, that's all you need to do right there. And then peel back the silicone, and just break it off, and there's the exposed LED. There's the part I broke off. So now you got to make sure that the copper is clean from any silicone that might have been left there, but this one, it came out just right. It's nice and clean. So that's already clean. You're going to need solder flux paste. You're going to need solder, and then you're going to need a soldering iron. First, you're going to take the paste, and you're going to put a little bit of paste on each copper piece. Now, I don't have the soldering iron hooked up. It's not heated up. But you're going to do that. Then you're going to take your soldering iron. I usually like to take something heavy to hold down the LEDs. And then you're going to take your soldering iron, and you're going to put a little bit of solder on that one, a little bit of solder on that one. Boom. It'll be tinned. You'll be good to go. So if you have a LED that is split somewheres in here, find the split, cut it there. Hopefully it's between 3 LEDs, but if it's not, if it's between one of the LEDs, like in here or here, then you'll have to cut it off and then cut down to a copper section. Go ahead and remove it. Then take your 2 pieces and put them together, butt to butt. Here, let me just do it this way. Let's cut this one. Oh, we'll cut it right here. Okay, I'll remove this. Again, clean that off. I should have hooked up my soldering iron. And clean that off. Do the same thing. Paste, tin it. Then you're going to put this down, and you're going to take this, and you're going to marry them up. And then you want to solder so that when you heat it up with the soldering iron, the 2 pieces flow together. Then when you're done with that, you're going to need to either take some clear silicon RTV and fill this in so that you replace this silicone so that it is waterproof, or get shrink tube. I like to use a piece of shrink tube that I would put over it. I would take a big piece of shrink tube, slide over it, and protect it that way. But clear RTV silicone will work just fine. All right, so that's all you got to do, is you got to get that Fluxban off so you could get to the light strip and make that repair, and then test it. It takes 12 volts DC to light these up, and you light them up with 12 volts. Let me show you here. I have a power supply that's set at about 11, but yeah, we'll get it at, there's 12 right there. And then one side is marked positive, that's where your positive goes. The other side is negative. Hook it up, and bam, that's it. So you got to get positive on positive, negative on negative. And so test it before you put it back on the car. Okay, just for a quickie, to put the bands back on the car, you're going to need 2 guys. You're going to reach up here, take your flux bands, put them back in here, get this spread apart. These will spread, they won't break. Get your flux band in here, get this on, then work your way down with your second man is opening these up, this one up, and you're working your way to get the flux band back on, and just reverse what you saw on the first videotape, making your connections on the bottom. But test your flux bands before you put them on. One way to test them is take your flux bands, put them on the ground, and just go ahead and wire them up to the car, turn the car on, see if they all light up. All right, that's how you fix a broken LED strip on a flux band for DeLorean Time Machine. I'm Bruce with Coolum Enterprises. Thank Rob for being behind the camera. Sometimes my wife Mary was behind the camera also. Sorry for being such a low budget, boring video, but this was just supposed to be a technical video, not for entertainment. I'm Bruce with Coolum Enterprises. Later.